What up? What up? Buccanidiots, Bucks fans. Fuck.
What up? What up?
Damn it, man. Not how I wanted to start my stream, man. Not at all how I wanted to start my live stream. I think most of you are up right now, are feeling a little bit shitty like I am. Lightning just took a hard L. No fun, no bueno. Damn. Oh shit, I'm on pins and needles, man. I've been on pins and needles all fucking night watching this shit double overtime. Oh fuck. I mean, let's hope we've got something better to look forward to tomorrow, because that right there, that is not how I wanted to go into my weekend. I mean, we still got obviously plenty of opportunity to bring the cup home. But yeah, that one hurts. What's up, everybody? Filing in the chat room right now. Made in Tampa, what's good? Oh, you said I'm looking good? Hey, thank you, man. I try. It's late. I'm normally far into my sleeping schedule at this point, but game day tomorrow, and I had to get on here and come hang out with my people. Oh, yeah. The Bolts win today or tonight would have been a cherry on the cake. I still fully expect, and I know y'all don't like when I talk like this. I know you don't like the confidence. The confidence is not comfortable here in Tampa. It's not a trendy thing to be confident about your sports teams. But yeah, I don't see any double overtime game coming tomorrow or today because it's past midnight. I anticipate an ass whooping in Denver tomorrow. Some donkey ass. Does Gronk catch passes tomorrow? No, bro. Absolutely not. He's a blocking tight end. He said it. He's no longer a pass catching tight end in the NFL. He's a $9 million blocking tight end. He's out there to look good. He's a poster boy. He's going to look, spectacular in that pewter uniform, but he's not going to touch the football tomorrow. What am I grilling tomorrow? Listen, I would love to be grilling tomorrow, but tomorrow's my mother-in-law's birthday, and she's cooking, and I don't know who watching right now knows anything about Puerto Rican Hispanic mother-in-laws, but they cook. So I'm going to be eating all kinds of deliciousness tomorrow, and the grill is going to stay cold. Do I really think Gronk is cool with not catching the football? I don't think Gronk has a choice. I mean, he looks terrible. He looks absolutely horrible. Father Time may have caught up with that guy unless it's just retirement rust, but I don't see how arroz con pollo, exactly. I don't see how he goes from looking like a rusted ass robot. He looks like Optimus Prime that's been in the bottom of the ocean for too long, and he's just coming out looking rusted as fuck. I don't see, I don't know there's any amount of fish oil that's going to get him lubed up and moving like he needs to out there. I get it. He's a mismatch because of his just overall gigantism on most linebackers, but he's just moving ugly. I mean, throw the ball to OJ, right? OJ has a newfound confidence. He's got a cheerleader in his ear. Gronkowski's got Brady whispering all the right things in his ear. Just throw him the ball. Yeah, he's got cement shoes on, Skip. He really does. So I'm okay with him being a $9 million blocking tight end. At this point, we can't take the money back. Yeah, shit. Fournette, big day tomorrow, Hammy says. Probably. I think all our backs get off tomorrow. I think LaShawn McCoy has a bounce back game. Not that he had, I mean, other than the drop touchdown, not that he had a terrible performance. To me, he looks the slickest, the quickest out of all our backs, even in his elder years. And Bruce Arians was out there teasing Keyshawn Vaughn getting some touches. Maybe he's not happy with what he sees overall. I mean, outside, and I've said this on several podcasts this week. Outside of the big touchdown run, we didn't really run the ball well. Neither Fournette nor Rojo ran the ball well. So I don't think it's time to get out there and start sucking each other's dicks over our running game, because it just didn't look that special until the end. And that's all we tend to remember, right? It's the good shit, not the bad shit. And before that, I think we averaged under 3 yards a carry, rushing the ball. Neither of them looks quick. Neither of them has that breakaway. I got to take that back, because obviously Fournette did break away, but neither of them has that burst, I guess you could say. They're more so plotters, and then when they get in the open field, they get some momentum behind them. Yeah, watch the fuck out. And if you listen to our podcast, the Loose Cans podcast with John Ledyard, Ledyard's essentially, stating that he's not really a big fan of what either of the guys did. He's not a big fan of Fournette as a whole, and we'll see how the season progresses. Big day for Scotty Miller. Yeah, I mean, Scotty Miller's making me look like a moron, right? I mean, last week was his time to shine. He dropped the easy touchdown pass, and Scotty's got to do a better job if he wants to, maintain that number one wide receiver status that I gifted him. Yeah, I gave him all the opportunities off season. We already know that, Brady's got eyes for him and shit, but you got to produce on the field. Our wide receiver core outside of Mike Evans last week looked shaky. First time watching nice D Smith jersey in the back. Man, that is not a Donovan Smith. That is not a Donovan Smith jersey behind me. How dare you, sir? It does not say Smith. It says Stank, and that happens to be the year that the Bucs were born, and also the year I was born, because I'm old as fuck. Me and the Bucs are the same age. Thank you, Josh. Somebody slap your boy for saying that's a Donovan. Listen. First of all, I've never seen a Donovan Smith jersey outside of his mom and grandma owning one. I'd be impressed. I'd be impressed. Listen, Ip came to our watch party wearing a Josh Freeman jersey, and it might join in with us here soon. Some of you guys may know Ip, some of you may not, but he's a Wildcat. And I got Breeze overrated. I invited him in. Oh, by the way, you can see down there on this fancy, I got a little fancy little scroll line down there. There's a phone number, and if you call in right now and leave a voicemail, I'll get you on the show. And if anybody has a fancy setup and just wants to come on and talk to me, let me know. Hit me in the chat here, and maybe I'll send you a DM and you can jump on and talk some Bucs football with me, because we got to talk something other than what we just saw. I even had a tweet all crafted and ready. I was ready to hit the tweet buttons. Probably me again jinxing this team. So it seemed to be getting blamed a lot for doing so. I should change my name to Bruce. Buck on Bruce. I couldn't do it, man. I can never listen. My mom, Stank is a family name. It was passed down generation to generation. My dad is just filthy. He's a Stank. My mom, she was a dirty hippie. She was Stank. It just goes back to whenever we showed up on this planet. We're just not clean people, man. So I got to keep Stank. You're going to get a Jensen jersey? That I would absolutely love to own. A Jensen jersey. Winfield, defensive rookie of the month. So far, how could you even consider anybody else? Clearly, we don't focus on the other 31 teams like we do this team. But it'd be hard for me to believe that there's another rookie defender out there essentially leading his defense and out there causing havoc, stripping guys, sacking guys, making pass breakups. The guy's special. He's as advertised. He's better than advertised. They have jersey insurance now. Why? In case your favorite player tears his ACL. It's been a fucked up season so far for fantasy. I don't know if we got a lot of fantasy fans here in the chat room, but yeah, big names been falling left and right. Is Breeze cooked? Brand says. It appears like Breeze is cooked. If you go and just dip your toe into any of the posts, any New Orleans Saints posts on Twitter, just dip your toe in there. Just go in the comment section if you're brave enough. They all think Breeze is toast. They're all calling for Jameis. All of them. They all want to see Jameis in there. So, I mean, can you bench Breeze after going 1-1? I don't know. Be crazy. Crazier shit's happen, I guess. If your player leaves the team, you can exchange the jersey with the American Express. I mean, as expensive as these jerseys have gotten, maybe it is time to get insurance on these fucking things. Like, you got to take out a loan these days to own an authentic jersey. I remember didn't seem like too long ago that jerseys were well under $100, and now they're just for average quality jersey, it's $150. If you want to get a high-end, high-quality, stitched one, you're paying $2 or more. And so I don't blame people for going and getting the knockoffs because they're not that much. I mean, they're way worse quality than the stitched ones, but they're not that much worse than, the shit that you're buying off the shelf for $150, and you end up paying 25 or 30 for it. This has to be Brady's best game going forward, right? I think he probably did make some progression last week, if not for the drop balls. The stat sheets would have looked a lot better. Still not where he needs to be at. Still don't think so far he's been a vast improvement over Jameis Winston. And I tweeted that out earlier in the week, and I got shit on all over the place. And I'm not saying he hasn't been a improvement. I just think he's been a vast improvement over Jameis. And then people went back and compared the first two games of last season to Tom's the first two games this season. And Jameis didn't have a great first two games last season, but I don't know. Just it seems dysfunctional, just like it seemed dysfunctional with Jameis. What do I want to see the defense improve upon this week? Pass rush. I want to see Shaq get home. I mean, I think he's been all around the ball. I'm not one of these people that think that, Shaq was a one-year wonder. To me, he earned, almost every sack he got last year. Is there a book on him now? Yep. But I see Shaq heating up. This would be the game to do it, right, against his former opponent. That's what everybody's calling for this week. Yeah. I mean, JPP is the more natural. JPP is a freak of nature in every way possible. The guy can do it all. He is literally what you want out of a defensive end. He can play defensive tackle. He can play the run. He's a mismatch, man. I don't know if you guys remember when he was coming out of USF. There's a video that circulated of JPP doing back handsprings, like he could tumble. That guy is a gymnast. Nobody that size should be that flexible have that much agility, that much bend in their body. He's not, he's not a normal human. Oh, you don't want, okay, I'm sorry. Mike Evans, the GOAT, said that he doesn't want to see us go into prevent defense in the second half. Yeah, that I mean, it ended up working out for us, but we've seen more often than not where it doesn't. I don't know, especially after McCaffrey went down. Carolina's offense really didn't have shit for us. I get it. We gave up a bunch of passing yards. A lot of those were when we were playing prevent. Yeah, I'd like to see us stay aggressive. I think if it was up to a guy like Brady, we would. And I think he's got a loud voice in that locker room. He's not used to losing leads. If you look at how New England played, man, when they were up 21-0, it was sayonara. And he's out there making mistakes, letting teams back in the game. I don't think we're going to see that continue. I think as he gets more comfortable in this offense and they find out what we do well, because so far we don't do anything great on offense. We're not really utilizing all our mismatches. We're clearly not using the tight ends, and that's been the talk all week this week is, what good is having three, good pass catching tight ends, one formerly great, now, full-time blocking tight end. But what good is it to have guys that can catch the ball that are mismatches against pretty much any linebacker, and if you're not throwing them the ball? Okay, listen, if you don't like to utilize tight ends in your offense, then line OJ up at wide receiver. Put him at receiver. Put Gronk put Brait at receiver. Utilize them some way, somehow. Throw them the ball before you throw it to Watson. Oh shit! We have a special guest. Some of you who follow Bucks Twitter may know my boy Ip. He goes by at Ain't No Dylan B. And I'm gonna add him in here. What's going on, Ip?
What's up, man?
Nice to have you on, bro.
Yes, sir. It was nice meeting you last Sunday.
It was nice meeting you, man. You're as cool as I thought you were in person, man. Thanks for the brews. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for sitting through the craziness. Listen, we put together
that 175-inch projector was going crazy.
Yeah, for those you don't know, Sammer, while he had COVID, had some people reach out to him, saw some wings, and Saucin set up a watch party, and we were supposed to get together and kind of go to this venue and see what it was about. But Sammer got COVID. We never got to go out there. Saucin did their part. They provided wings. I was impressed with their food, but the venue.
Oh, the food was awesome, dude. The wings, mac and cheese. Oh, man.
The venue was disappointing.
I like the inside, but the
inside was cool, but they tried to stick us outside, and to say the projection screen that we were all supposed to crowd around was worse than like any public school would have set up out in the courtyard. Like this shit was terrible. You couldn't see it. You sat 3 feet from it, much less 30 people sitting outside trying to watch it. So thankfully they let us go inside. The manager got a little hot with me and Sammer, but eventually let us in. And Sammer might get upset at me, or maybe I don't give a fuck. I'm going to tease the next one. We got a legit new location for our watch parties, man.
Where are we at?
So no watch party tomorrow, obviously. Otherwise, we'd be promoting it. But for the next home game, which only a handful of fans are going to get into, we are going to be having a watch party at Fuzzy's Tacos at the USF location.
Oh, okay, right off of Fowler Bush, right up there, heading towards the airport almost.
Yep, Fuzzy stepped up, and they're putting together some
their drinks
specials.
Their drinks are fucking huge. They give you like fish bowls. I get Coronas, and they give me fucking fish bowls. I get these margaritas. They're fucking huge, dude.
Hey, I'm sorry, real quick. Douglas O'Connor asked where I'm reading comments from. Douglas, I'm reading comments from a couple of different places. I'm live streaming this on Periscope, and a lot of comments are coming in through Periscope. Obviously, I'm live streaming through YouTube, which is going to be better quality if you're trying to get the better quality of the stream. So you can follow the comment section there. But yeah, back to the venue. Samer's going to be sending out all kinds of, Samer's the king of the flyer.
He's the king of not following me back.
Samer doesn't follow you?
No, neither did Christian or X. I was thinking that loose cannons, man. Buccanidiots, I might have to step up and we might have to jump them.
All right, I'll slap them around a little bit, bro. I listen. It's not the first time I've heard that they're stingy with the follow button or they just don't get back to people.
Yeah, come on, man. You just met me.
Yeah, bro. What the fuck? You're there to support us. Listen, the most important thing is I follow you, and I have you on the show. I have you.
Yeah, like exactly. My second time.
You've been on the show now. You're a part of the Buccanidiots family. We do things a little bit different here. Samer has no say in he's not like the dictator he is. Look, Samer, I'm out. Listen, if you go on loose cannons and you're out of the frame, he will shit an absolute gold brick, bro, out of his asshole live on the stream, bro. You better not be like, your lighting better be good. And that's not just for me and Christian, bro. That's like any guest that comes on there. Ryan Jensen's like, hey, Ryan, I need you to sit up and get closer to the camera, bro. With Carmen Vitale, he's like, Carmen,
I love you,
but you need to square those shoulders up and be right in the center of your. I'm like, Samer, bro. And he
slouching, drinking a beer, fucking with a shitty webcam.
Exactly. What are you expecting tomorrow, man?
Jeff Driscoll's going to tear us apart for 400 yards to the air, but we're going to win. We're going to win 35-28.
Real talk?
I don't think we'll get tore up. This defense isn't the same defense that played Brett Hundley. But, I mean, I was looking at some Jeff Driscoll highlights. Somebody was bored enough or kind enough to that man to put up a highlight video of him. I'm not
some Denver Bronco highlights, or this is like some
no. This is like not only the Gators. I'm pretty sure he was with Cincinnati beforehand.
Hey, real quick, Mike, at me on Twitter. I'll follow you. Matter of fact, anybody in the chat room right now that I don't follow, it's not because I don't want to follow you. It's just because I honestly, I'm old, bro. I don't even know who I'm following half the time. So just hit me with an ad on Twitter and I will absolutely follow you back. But if you start posting political shit, you get muted. I'm just going to say it straight up right now. If that's your shit.
With all the Bucks fans that are like hashtag Trump, all this. I'm like, man.
I don't care. I hate all politicians.
Me too.
They can all go. Yeah, they can all go somewhere else. I can't stand
Vita Vea need to have a big game against the Broncos rookie center. I expect different things from them week in and week out because sorry to.
No, I love it. But, yeah, I can't keep it without the comments.
Things from him week in and week out. I mean, some weeks it looks like he's getting double teamed on the line and it allows Sue to get through. And some weeks Sue eats up the double teams for him. I don't know what they come out doing against us, but I expect at least a sack.
Did you hear what our Hall of Fame GOAT defensive tackle Warren Sapp has glossed Vita Vea? Did you hear the nickname that he gave him?
Nah.
He tweeted out and called Vita Vea the hand model because he's always just a hand away. He's always looking at his own hands and right there where he should get the sack. He's got the quarterback in his hands, or he's in the backfield. He's got the back in his hands, and he just can't seem to bring him down. And I know he's got little short T-Rex arms, but he does. Listen, he is a disruptive force in the middle, right? But for a guy that was drafted at that position, for a guy that this Lichty was out there promoting as the guy that has pass rushing ability, pass rush skills. You want to see him get his hands on guys. You want to see some sack numbers out of him. I mean, Vita's a destroyer up front, but I have to agree with Warren. It's time for Vita to start eating up some sacks.
Watching this UFC in the background. My phone screen.
I had it up. I had it up.
It's a main event time now.
Is it? Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm going for Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, I think Stylebender gets it done. Although that guy he's
He's
fighting
a massive middleweight, bro. That's the biggest motherfucking middleweight I've ever seen.
you put him and OJ next to each other. Who's got a better body?
OJ Howard.
Yeah, you're probably right.
OJ Howard got HGH LeBron body right now. So what I was going back to Vita Vea, what I would love to see Vita Vea do before he retires is wear his full name on a jersey. Instead of it just being Vita Vea, it should be Tavita Tuliakono Tuibatopolo Mosesi Vehe Fahoko Faleto Avea. And I think that would be an awesome selling jersey. I think that jersey would sell out.
Okay, the fact that you have the skills to like go through that and phonetically it just rolled off your tongue, bro. You got some poly in your blood. Where did that come from? Like that was.
I'm too skinny. If I had some Samoan poly in me, I'd be brawny.
I'm sure there's a few slender, poly dudes out there. Shout out to all the poly.
That's actually probably the nicest stereotype to have out of thanks Tomas, but the nicest stereotype to have out of all stereotypes is that Samoans are big and strong. Like nobody, like that's a.
I mean, there's some other stereotypes out there that aren't terrible, but yeah, the majority of them. Yeah, exactly.
They're normally wrong, but
yeah, that one is real, bro. Those dudes they're different.
Like the wrestler fucking Samoa Joe, I wouldn't fucking want to fight that guy. The hell?
Listen, bro, like if you literally were stuck in a room, and there was only a little food left and it was you and Vita, how are you surviving, bro? How are you surviving?
He's ripping it. He's strong-arming it out of my hands. Anything that I'm trying to eat is going to strong-arm.
You, bro. He's going to eat you.
What is he? 6'4", 347 pounds, and he runs. What did he run a sub 5?
Great question. Somebody look that up.
5'10". 5.1.
Drew Thomas just said UFC is still a thing. Listen, UFC was the one out there doing it when everybody else was scared to put sports back on the map. I just spit. Hopefully I don't sit. UFC was out there putting on events. They have been putting on events non-fucking stop throughout this entire pandemic. What's up, Bulldog?
I think that UFC is also just I think it's the fastest growing sport because it's just something that every country, like even Brazil, you've got Colombians, you've got a lot of people doing their different styles of Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, the Asians, Americans, like it has the potential to be one of the, if not the most global sport aside from soccer.
I mean, every country has some form of
like a judo or like a martial arts. Yeah. So, like Israelis could. I wonder if Krav Maga would be allowed in the UFC.
They use it. I mean, there's rules to stop. The difference between Krav Maga and what they do in the UFC is you can't do any kind of fine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have a gun held to my head and
but in the UFC. You can't break fingers. You can't manipulate.
Snap a wrist.
Yeah, snap wrists. You can't do any of that kind of shit. Which obviously those types of martial arts, those are like military martial arts. But I mean, I'm surprised more NFL players don't roll and learn jiu-jitsu. Listen, when I was coaching,
Greg Hardy did it.
Yeah, Greg Hardy did it. So
he's a piece of shit. Fuck Greg Hardy, actually.
Fuck Greg Hardy. But there have been other NFL players that did it post-career. But I'm surprised, and I get it. I guess they want to, they don't want to sustain an injury, and you have a high likelihood. But when I was coaching, our varsity head coach made every one of our linemen had to wrestle. If you wanted to play any position, defensive line, offensive line,
better be able to get in those trenches and roll.
You had to wrestle, and because of that, we had a huge advantage, man. When you learn how to use your leverage, and that's exactly what wrestling is. It tends to breed some fairly dominant interior linemen. So I'm more surprised that a lot of these big guys don't learn wrestling or learn jiu-jitsu, because it's essentially what they're doing in the trenches.
Well, that's why Gronk is a great blocker this year. He's a professional wrestler. That man is a professional wrestler, WWE 24/7 champion, but I'm sure what he learned training there probably made him a better blocker than he was. It helps him at least.
Well, now he's a professional blocker, so that's
Can he play left tackle, by the way? Is there any way that Grunt could
he's a left tackle assistant now. I mean, the guy's not out there catching passes.
We got
When you got on there, we talked about how rusty the dude looks.
I don't think he looks rusty.
I don't think he's moving very well.
Did you see? I think Carmen Vitale tweeted it. He ran 19 miles per hour down the field last week on a vertical.
Yeah, I don't think the straight line is the problem.
I think the in and outs.
I think it's the agility, and that's where he's looking robotic. But like a lot of people have pointed out, he was retired this time last year and out there doing the Hollywood circuit and having a good time. So it's going to take him to maybe some additional time.
Drinking as much as he wants.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we already know, Gronk's a party animal. So
yeah, he's signed with some marijuana companies. I mean, I don't give a fuck if anybody on our team smokes weed as long as nobody's out here fucking booting up. Well, I don't know. Maybe if you take a line before the game or something, go out there, give me 3 sacks. I don't know. I don't care. I really don't care.
I mean, I'm of the opinion all drugs should be legalized, every one of them, all of them, because it does. Making drugs illegal doesn't work. But unless you're doing
them more,
unless you're impaired and you can't do your job, then I just don't give a fuck. Unless you're out there like what's our old lineman used to come to the game drunk. I'm not old lineman, old tight end that had a drinking issue and got traded to the Jets.
Austin Safarian Jenkins.
Yeah, ASJ.
The one who was going 100 on 95.
You can't do that. You got to be.
It was actually like 120. It was something insane. Like it was because 100 it's a little 20, 30 mile per hour over, but it was definitely something like way too.
Mm-hmm. How? What's your opinion of our run game so far? Have you been satisfied with?
I'm not satisfied with not only the spread of touches but the rarity of touches in the first place. This was our problem last year. What was the game? Was it Carolina? No. Maybe New York. We ran the ball really, really great the first half. And then Rojo comes out. I think he had 89 yards, and he finishes the game with like 96 yards and 3 more carries.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the problem, what it is. We get the run game going, and then we abandon it because, I don't know, I think Bruce Arians wants to take shots. If we're up 14-0, you might as well hand the ball off if it's been working. If you want to keep taking shots, I mean, don't get mad when the picks come. I think we don't run the ball enough. And I also don't think that our guys are
I think our play selection is a big issue. I think
Kellen Winslow is a weirdo, Drew Thomas. Kellen Winslow Jr. is a weirdo. That guy's a fucking weirdo.
He has a lot more to do with Kellen Winslow's issues, man. That guy is obviously not a sane person. I mean, if you just even dip your toe into what he's done since he's retired.
Well, I mean, what about CTE? What is it whenever the Bucs players are saying that on hotels and shit with them, he would be in the room and just be jerking off in front of them and in the locker room doing it? Like, the guy was a weirdo. That guy definitely was just not built normally.
Definitely not, man.
Everybody at Breeze Overrated on Twitter and tell him to call in. I got shit to talk about that Miami game. Buccaneers is with me because we got some shit to talk about him.
Yeah, I'm sure every FSU fan right now is
yeah, he's burrowed away. He's crying.
Burrowed away, exactly.
He's just, oh man, my son went to bed, so I had to go to bed. So he's going to tell us tomorrow morning. He's crying. He's watching right now.
Today.
Oh, fuck the Gators.
Hey, man.
Only team I care about in Florida that's college is Miami.
You're not a USF fan?
I'm a KJ Sales fan. I went to high school with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the Maxwell for one of the best corners, or I think that's the Maxwell. He's on that list for it. He's definitely a beast. I think he'll be in the league. I think he'll be a day 2 draft pick at latest. And I'm a FSU fan. We suck, but we rebuilding. College teams are hard to rebuild though, because Tennessee's been rebuilding for 20 years.
I mean, you're essentially rebuilding every year in college.
Yeah, because you get 4 years of your best players, and if you're lucky, you get 4 years of your best
I was
players.
gonna say that if you're any good, you don't. Alabama's not getting 4 years of their best players. They just reload every year. Every year seems
So
to
what
be.
they do is they basically just got this kid that's third on the depth chart at running back, and he's a fucking beast. And he waits 3 years, and he plays this sophomore, redshirt, whatever, junior year, redshirt, junior year, and he's a beast. He goes to the league like Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs had the lowest amount of carries out of any running back selected last year, I think, that was actually drafted. And Josh Jacobs looks rested. He looks ready to run that ball for 10, 15 more years, God willing.
I was extremely impressed when I watched the Raiders Saints game last week. Jacobs is that's the first time I've really given any time watching him, man.
That guy's not only speedy, but he's one of those guys that can definitely just put the shoulder down on you too, or he'll pull that move, that little 1-2 on you.
Mm-hmm.
Put that little juke on you.
What did you think of our secondary play last week? And we gave up quite a bit of yards. I know a lot of it was in
garbage time. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. For the most part, it's good. I don't think Carlton Davis didn't have any holdings or DPIs.
I think he had one pass interference penalty, didn't he?
On Robbie Anderson, was it? Is it that play?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be addressed in due time. He's still a great lockdown corner. Israel Adesanya just knocked him out. Let's go, GOAT. Let's go, GOAT. Oh, he's got shit to talk now. He had a DPI in the end zone. Okay, he did. And that's right. Another thing let's talk about end zone. Drops. Scotty Miller, wide open, right over here in the end zone.
I addressed that earlier. Listen, all I can do as Scotty Miller's, the head of the Scotty Miller fan club, is gas the guy up. It's not my fault if he goes out there and drops the ball, like literally drops the ball. Oh, he ground and pounded him out. That's it.
Shady drop. LaShawn McCoy. I told everybody at the beginning of this year, die hard. You know how I am with Jameis Winston, all that. I told everybody that if 7 years ago this offseason happened, I would have been shitting bricks. Like, I would have been so hyped up. But I'm iffy on everybody. LaShawn McCoy is somebody who I still feel like he wasn't active in the Super Bowl because he wasn't so much of a featured back in their offense. I think at this point, he's still kind of playing for his role in the team. I don't think we give him enough run, though. He doesn't really have a chance to show anything. I've seen him run the ball.
He's essentially a receiver. He's our third down back. I don't think he's particularly great at blocking, but he's definitely the best receiving back we have, and that's not even close. And I think Fournette's a pretty damn good receiver.
I think Leonard Fournette is a fucking problem. I think he's going to be that. If I had to pick running back one, I mean, I know the Rojo love train, and I know that he's improved a lot since he's been in the league, but Leonard Fournette, I didn't think Leonard Fournette was ass. I never thought he was like bad at all. I always just thought Leonard Fournette was a solid, really good running back one. And when we signed him, I thought the same thing. I just thought, I assumed from day one he was our guy. I mean, I know we would love to put that faith in Rojo, but if we re-signed Jameis Winston and then we got out and got Tom Brady, who are we going to start? We're going to start Tom Brady.
Ren's in the chat. He said defense needs to step up their zone coverage. 2 big broken coverages in 2 games. Yeah. I mean, they're definitely not a finished product out there. I think individually we've seen some really good performances.
I love Sean Murphy Bunting.
So do I.
I'm a huge Sean Murphy Bunting fan.
Listen, it takes time for that, for units like that to gel. And Bowles that loves to switch shit up. So every week the game plan is going to be a little bit different.
I love Todd Bowles. I think he'll get another head coaching job after he's done here.
Yeah, no, not done here. I think he'll be our next head coach.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, Arians got 1 year left. That's it. I think he's out of here. Win, lose, or draw. He's out of here in 2 years. It just makes too much sense, and it seems like a Glazer type move to just bring whoever the next guy up in house is. At that point, this young defense will be 3 years in the system, and he obviously, his tenure in New York didn't go very well, but he didn't have a quarterback. But I guess you could say he probably won't have a quarterback here either, unless we draft one or Josh Rosen ends up being the guy once Brady leaves.
Wouldn't that be like the best turnaround career story? 3 years in the league, 3 teams, settles down on one. Tom Brady retires. He takes over the helm, and we don't miss a step.
How can anybody seriously be able to critique that kid? I mean, 2 different systems, 2 different years,
and 2 terrible teams.
2 terrible teams. 2 terrible coaching staff.
2 terrible lines. That man was throwing for his life. Like we complain about Jameis. That man was running for his life around the field. He didn't know what to do. I wouldn't know what to do. I mean, I think Josh Rosen is I wouldn't be opposed to giving him a whirl if he's still here when TB12 is gone.
I mean, he's playing for nothing. He's on that Jameis deal here. That's his plan, right? He sees what's in front of him. He knows that he has the opportunity, to learn this system, and possibly the system stays in place, but at least learn the game from a guy like Brady, just like Jameis decided to do in New Orleans. Although I don't know that Jameis's game and Breeze's game are similar in any way. Their style of play is.
Jameis is more Big Ben than he is Drew.
Yeah, and
hey, I'm gonna go grab another beer. I'll be right back. You're gonna look at my wall for a second.
Yeah,
sorry, it's a Samir. If he's watching, Samir.
That's why he's not following you, motherfucker. He probably followed you and then unfollowed you right away once he heard you call him Samir.
Samir, that's probably what it is. I'll be right back, Mossman.
Yeah. You want to get unfollowed or just ignored by Samurai Ali? Call him Samir. Do that. Call him Samir, and he'll just leave you alone forever. No, but yeah, to me, it didn't make any sense. From a style standpoint, for Jameis to go to New Orleans, it made a whole lot of sense in regards to being next man up. That's for sure. And maybe he went there to learn that system. But I think once Breeze is out of there, Sean Payton goes too, and I think that whole organization rebuilds at some point. Yeah, but I'm definitely not gonna make this some Jameis talk. We got lots of people in the chat and lots of questions. Shady dropped the ball in the end zone last week. Yeah, that was ugly, and I don't think you see Shady dropping too many balls. That was a guaranteed touchdown right there, and that sucked to see. Do we know if Judy is playing yet? I think so. And from what Trevor Sikkema said with us on the last Loose Cannons episode, he thinks that Sean Murphy Bunting will be lining up against Judy. Because he
32 ounce.
Oh, look at that.
Big ass Modelo.
Where'd you get that thing from?
Wawa.
Okay.
Wawa. Because we don't have Florida 40s in Florida.
No, we don't. No, we got
32s.
Them quarts. I used to drink them nasty ass fucking Schlitz, OEs and all that shit back in the day.
OEs are legendary, but I'm not too far out of high school. I'm only 5 years out of high school, so.
No, I don't like malt liquor. Malt liquor is not.
You don't like malt liquor?
I don't like malt liquor.
Malt liquor is awesome.
I'm not a big fan. The older I've become, the more picky I am about what I put in my body. I like fancy beer, bro. I like locally brewed craft beer. Oh,
like that beer that we had the other day.
Yes.
That was a good beer. That first beer that we had gotten.
Listen, that the place we had our watch party at has great beer, but that's what they are. They're like a little local hole in the wall beer joint. They're definitely not a sports bar. C 1949 is the name of the place.
That's good okay beer. Though. That's okay though that they're not a sports bar, because if I wanted to drink some just beer and maybe not take shots or whatever, not go wild, I would catch a game there. I would definitely go inside and watch a game there.
Yeah.
There's TVs all over the place. It's not
Dude,
like my favorite brewery. My sister's ex-husband, he works there. Angry Chair.
Oh, all right.
They
That's not far
they
from
have,
me.
yeah, it's right up on Seminole.
Yeah.
Or not Seminole Heights. Yeah.
Yeah.
King of the Coop is right by that. Have you ever had King of the Coop?
Me and my daughter were just talking about King of the Coop today. We went to Revolution Ice Cream, which is literally right next door to it. Shout out to Revolution Ice Cream. If you like expensive ice cream, which listen, if you go out for ice cream, you're gonna pay $6 for some ice cream. Good as fuck. And they got an ice cream called the 813, and it's cafe con leche with like chunks of crunchy caramel in it. It's ridiculously good.
That sounds like it slaps.
Oh, it does. But King of the Coop is next door, and I've never had it. Is it
Nashville hot chicken? It was recommended to me after they won like best chicken spot or best new chicken spot last year on an award from the Tampa Bay Times or Tribune, whatever it is now. And I checked it out. That motherfucking chicken's hot. But if you like spicy like I do, I get the I think it's the Coop's Disaster or something. It's the hottest one they have. And I get that. But they have their Nashville hot original chicken. They have like mild, and then they have like just regular chicken. But to be fair, for what it is, the chicken tenders, the fries that come with it, I would say it's the best. I would say it's the best chicken that I've had in Tampa. I would say it's the best chicken spot.
Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Yes, immensely. But this is a guy who started this. Well, I like spice.
I love spicy food.
So the thing about this is that I like spicy, but I hate mayonnaise. So like when I go to Popeyes and I want the spicy chicken,
bro,
they
how
can't
old are
give it
you?
to me.
What's your mom's name, bro? Maybe maybe you're my long lost son, dude. I'm the same way. I love spicy food. I hate mayonnaise. Although I will fuck with aioli though, which is
I like Chipotle aioli, and that's the only aioli that I can eat.
Yeah, I know it's like a contradiction, and I love blue cheese. And my nephew for years has been clowning me, saying that he used to make
ranch?
No, fuck ranch, bro. Come on, how you gonna come on?
Oh, you're right. You're right. You said you were gonna switch. You said you were gonna switch from blue cheese to ranch.
I said if we don't whoop Denver's ass, if we don't win by at least a touchdown, that I'm gonna have to eat my wings with ranch for the rest of the season. I make all these kind of crazy proclamations. I'm gonna stick to it too. This one.
I was about to say, what about the wife one?
Yeah, sure. I'm stuck to that one. All right, I'm stuck in it. I'm stuck to it every day.
It's been like that for how many years you've been married?
That's right. I lost my penis in a fire accident when I was a kid. Now.
If the Bucks
lose, I eat ranch, bro. Listen, I'll eat it live on stream.
What if we lose by 1 point because of like a Ryan Suckup blocked extra point?
Listen, if we lose at all, I'm eating ranch for the rest of the season on my wings. I'm gonna doctor that shit up, bro. It's gonna be the best ranch ever made. I'm gonna start bottling it and selling it. It's not gonna taste anything like ranch when I'm done with it.
Okay, so the thing is that ranch that you get from like fucking like Nature's Hidden Valley, whatever the fuck that shit is, that's like salad ranch. That's fucking disgusting. If I bring hot wings home and I'm just like, oh, you know what, I got some ranch and I put that Hidden Valley, that's like salad ranch. That's just gross as fuck.
Listen, I'm going to say something, and I hope everybody in the chat room and everybody who watches this at a later date listens to me. Let me get really close to the camera here. All right, listen. If you eat salad dressing that doesn't come from the refrigerated section, it comes from that aisle that's not refrigerated.
That shit that you pour out of the packet.
You're fucking gross. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
If you eat, especially some cream-based salad dressing that's not in the refrigerator. What the fuck is in there, bro? What's keeping that gelatin from turning into something that crawls out? Like that's disgusting.
It's whatever Burger King puts in their nuggets. Sell them for $1.
You need to go to the carrot section. If you're gonna eat ranch, get that Maria Caladeras or whatever the fucking that good cold shit that's been in the refrigerator that's probably made with real ingredients. Stop eating trash. Stop putting that shit in your body. It's gross.
Drew Thomas said, do you want draft beer in your house? I'll set you up with a custom beautiful home system. GCW Thomas, follow me on Insta or Twitter. At name right there. At name is right there.
Bro, how good would my office look? Look, I got room right over there. For
man.
A tap, right? You could I got room in several different places. Let me get myself back in the
I see
center.
that Gators helmet. Let's get that out of there.
What? Oh,
I'm gross. Thousand Island for life. Oh man.
yeah. Thousand Island is filthy.
Yeah, what? That's sick. That's sick.
That shit's nasty. And you know, I know that people put it on like Rubens, I think. God damn. There we go.
Old man figures out how to stream live.
Exactly. Old man figures out a camera live on air. No, my dad eats like roast beef sandwiches with sauerkraut and Thousand Island. It's some weird. My dad eats some weird Jew food, bro.
Sauerkraut's not bad.
I'm not a big fan.
I don't like it because of the texture. The taste isn't the worst thing, but if I put that shit on like a hot dog or something, I'm expecting my hot dog to taste like a hot dog. I don't want to have another chewy little fucking. It's the same thing as relish. I like pickles. I hate relish.
Oh, look, how funny is it that you mentioned hot dog and then Jewel pops up in the chat and she said she's gross, Thousand Island for life. I think you just quoted her. She also eats raw hot dogs. All right. Listen, this girl said.
Is that healthy?
No.
Is that healthy?
Maybe they're not raw, but barely cooked. She said if there's a grill mark on her hot dog, it's going in the trash can.
If you grill me hot dogs, I understand if I boil a hot dog or something.
Oh, why?
But if you grill me a hot dog and there is not grill marks on it, I'm gonna turn it back. I'm gonna be like I'm at a steakhouse. I'm gonna be like, this is not medium rare. Look at it, it's still breathing.
Jewel, barely cooked hot dogs. See, I get it. They're already cooked when you get them in the store, but you're supposed to grill them or put them on the pan fry them. I guess you can boil hot dogs, but they better look like bursted and like brown and I don't know, bro. Listen,
I love hot dogs.
The hot dogs that I choose don't even look like hot dogs by the time I get them.
Yeah, Stank is the glizzy gladiator.
The most burnt ones, and then I cover them in mustard and onions. That's perfection right there.
Mustard is fucking gross. Onions are fucking gross.
What? Bro, what?
Dude, all I eat, ketchup, barbecue sauce, and ranch. That's the top 3 condiments. And then, well, actually, number 1 for me is hot sauce. I put that shit on everything. I'll put that shit on eggs, hash browns, chicken.
Are you a sriracha fan?
Sriracha is one of the best. So I make these wings at my job. So basically, I had the Last Dab. I don't know if you've ever seen the hot ones on YouTube.
I have, yeah, I love it.
I had the Last Dab because I'm subscribed to Heatonist. And every year that I'm subscribed, I get like a Christmas package from them. It's worth it. So last year they sent me all 10 of the hot ones, season 3, whatever season they were on, lineup. And end it with the Last Dab. And I tried I think it's MD 40 whatever, 45 or whatever, the hottest one in the world because they can't even measure by the heat, like the heat scale.
The Scoville.
Yeah, the Scoville units. They can't measure the Scoville units, but I tried that. That shit was way too hot. The Last Dab, surprisingly enjoyable. I would put that shit not like over my food, but I would put 4 or 5 drops in there. And I mean, I did this challenge at work. Everybody puts a dab and they do it real quick on their fingers, and everybody was like, "This is fucking way too hot." And I'm like, "Bitch, I love this." I was like, "This shit is great." People were like,
"I'm down. I'll try anything once." Made in Tampa on Periscope said that he used to drink mustard out of the container.
I see that.
Listen, I can't hate on it, bro. I love like obnoxiously sour foods and mustard. I like all kinds of mustard, spicy mustard, honey mustard.
I can fuck with honey mustard. I could get jiggy with that on a chicken tender, and I can fuck with spicy like brown Dijon mustard or whatever on a brat, like a bratwurst. Because when I'm in Germany visiting my mom, she lives in Germany. One of my favorite foods is like a brat with some spicy mustard on it.
Yeah, I
like a spicy brat already too. So I'm like, I love this. Yellow mustard ain't gonna make you fat either. Well, nothing that I eat matters when I drink fucking 32-ounce Modelo's. It's gonna fucking make me fat anyways.
You think Brady has his best performance.
Yes, that secondary is really suspect. If Tom Brady doesn't throw for 300 yards, I will be upset.
I mean, we're gonna be at full strength. Our receiving core.
Godwin's good. Mike Evans
Godwin's good.
2 weeks off his hamstring injury.
Their pass rush is banged up. Obviously, they're missing
Von Miller,
and I think Chubb's been on a pitch count, so I don't think he's 100%.
He tore his ACL last year after starting out fire, right?
Yeah, I mean Bradley Chubb's a monster. If he's playing and he's playing at a high level, watch the fuck out. Donovan Smith's in for it, and Gronk's gonna have to.
Donovan Smith's gonna get bullied if Bradley Chubb's playing at a high level.
I think Donovan Smith struggles with a certain style of pass rusher. I think he's okay against the bigger, longer guys. I think he struggles against the smaller, quicker tackles and ends, honestly. And they alluded to the fact. I mean, they talked about Donovan Smith's knee after the New Orleans game, but who knows? I mean, the guy could have been nursing something up to that point. It was an awful performance. Injured, not injured.
Well, that was the first thing that Jameis and Brady Twitter came along like this on this year, was even Nick Citro calling him our usual suspect, was just how terrible he was against New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
What was that play? Trey Hendrickson, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Just absolutely swam move him, but
yep.
A normal swim move, you're still on your feet. He pushed him to the ground. It looked like he got his ankles broke.
I can't remember a worse game, and we've seen some legendary bad games by offensive linemen. I can't remember a worse game. I mean, there's been some probably equally terrible performances.
MVP tomorrow is Barrett. Back to Denver, revenge. I agree that Shaq Barrett gets 3 sacks.
I'll take it. I have a feeling we're going to have a healthy lead going into the second half, similar to how we did last week. But I don't see the comeback. I see our defensive line turning up the heat and eating, and I see the hand model getting a sack. Sue probably feeling really good about himself because he's starting to hit the stat sheet a little bit.
Bortles signed with Denver for death. Sorry, I'm reading that. Bortles signed with Denver for death, but I would love some Blake Bortles action tomorrow. I would love to see the boat come in.
Listen, if Blake ends up seeing the field, then you already know it's. I mean,
Jeff Driscoll is bad.
Yeah, he's had 6 days to learn that offense. It wouldn't.
Josh Freeman Monday Night Football with the Viking style. That was hard to watch. As a Freeman supporter, when we let him go, when he signed with Minnesota and threw like 60 passes and he was completed like 21 of them, I was like, oh, this is ass. I was like, this is terrible.
Jules says, how fire is Ali Marpet? Ali Marpet is a beast, man.
I originally wasn't so sold on Ryan Jensen until I saw something last year, about halfway through the year. I think Pat McAfee pointed it out, and it was like, pay attention to this guy. He gets hurt on this play. He doesn't want to come out when the trainers pick him up and tell him he has to get off for a play. So then he puts his helmet on, and Bruce Arians is like, no, go back. And he's like, no, fuck that. I'm going back in the game. And he just runs back onto the field. I was like, yeah, he's a football player. He's a tough guy. He's hard-nosed. I mean, my problem with him, why I wasn't so sold on him, was I think he had a holding issue on a couple of DTs that were a step quicker than him a few years back. But as of now, he's playing awesome.
I mean, he's got a temper issue. I think he's been a lot smarter over the last couple seasons in regards to taking dumb penalties. I mean, you want your guy, you want your center to be nasty, you want your lineman to be nasty. You don't want them out there catching dumb 15-yard penalties.
I want Quentin Nelson.
Yeah, I mean, everybody wants Quentin.
I want somebody that plays in between the whistles.
I think Ryan's going to go down as one of the best centers we've ever had on this team. I mean, you can't get a more mentally tough guy than Ryan. Shout out to Dean Jensen. Dean, I love you, bro. Listen, Ryan Jensen had one of the best quotes I've ever seen in my entire life. I want to say it was, God, I always forget who was interviewing, and they asked him about gingers not having souls. And Ryan's answer was, I snatched souls out on that field. So technically I have more souls than anybody.
He does.
Like, bro, that's the most gangster shit
That is
I've
fire
ever
as
heard in my
hell.
life, bro. He said, I'm a soul snatcher.
I like Ryan Jensen, dude. I don't think he's gonna be. He says Jensen will be a cap casualty next year. I don't believe that he'll be a cap casualty. I believe that we have one of the more low key and better centers. I think that he'll sign for a bigger deal than other teams. Well, I don't know. They do a lot of film study too, so I mean, it's not just us seeing it every Sunday. But
I think it highly depends on how we do this year.
yeah, and also him and Tom Brady are like this already. So Tom Brady was shoving his towel back in his ass.
If we do really well and we make it, deep in the playoffs, we make it to the Super Bowl, we win the Super Bowl. Any of those things. If momentum is good and this ends up being a successful season for us, people are going to want to stay, bro. Like all these guys are going to want to come back and stay. You may see another slew of 1-year deals, guys taking a little less to try to bring it, run it back for the second season. To either repeat or take another shot at getting a trophy.
So I think JPP does is he gets paid a little more than the cap, but he doesn't, or not the cap, just a little more than. I wouldn't say he's more than, I don't know. I would say he's like a 6 million, 7 million kind of guy if we're re-signing teams or players.
I mean, we'll be able to make some space. Clearly,
we did it to sign Devin White.
Clearly, Cam Blake's not coming back. I don't know how much guaranteed money Gronk got, but I wouldn't be surprised if Gronk is one and done just based on what he looks like now. But that could change if he heats up again. It's basically the third preseason game right now for a guy who just came out of retirement. So I'm not. I like to talk shit about Gronk, but I mean, dude's a Hall of Famer. I'm sure he will come up big in several games this year, and shit could be this week. He's in, they're in Denver. They have access to all the good drugs there. So right now in the Mile High City, there's several.
Gronk's probably cruising up there.
Gronk is always high on life. I can just imagine Gronk smoking
some weed.
Really special.
It probably calms him down.
Quality.
Probably calms him down like
usually does for people like him. People who have that hyperactivity in the brain. Marijuana.
It's better than Adderall, better than giving your kid a fucking pill. I'm not saying let your kid smoke, but anyway, I'm not. I don't know. I'm also a proponent of thinking that baseball players should be allowed to shoot up.
Like I said, I'm one of those few out there that thinks all drugs should be legal. I'm not saying you should use drugs while you're working, but as far as
what you do in your own time.
Yeah, recreationally or medicinally, everything should be legal, man. Even fucking crystal meth.
Yeah. I mean, some of the meth heads and crackheads I've been meeting be the happiest people in the world, and they don't got shit.
No, I think it's some terrible, wicked shit, but I would rather us put our money and our resources into actually
helping them instead of putting them in jail.
Yeah, I mean, listen, these halfway houses don't help rehabilitate. There are programs out there, but they require guys to be clean instead of be able to get through their addictions while they're staying or living at these facilities.
That's what I'm on.
Yeah, other countries do it. Obviously, we have a much larger population and it's on a much larger scale here, but it would work.
Have you seen what the prisons look like in fucking like Norway and shit?
I mean, again, those populations are way different than we have.
So they don't have to spend as much money, but you're right. Yeah. But back to football. Douglas O'Connor says everybody in the NFL will restructure their contracts next year. All teams are starting with $15 million less in the cap. Is that coming from failed ticket sales?
No, I think it's the COVID thing. I think they've already agreed that the cap's going to be less next year because of the losses they're taking this year.
Of ticket sales and
ticket sales, just revenue altogether. Yeah. I think it's a pretty well-known thing that's going to be the case. So, yeah, we probably will have some cap casualties, or there's going to be a lot less money to go around. And so all teams are going to be in the same boat the Bucs are. Everybody's going to be cap strapped.
Except the Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to be like, bitch, we're ready. Everybody's coming to Miami.
But players are going to be forced to take probably
less money
deals or defer money to different seasons.
There's going to be a lot of backloaded contracts coming.
The Bucs have a lot of decisions to make.
Yes.
Do we pay two receivers number one money? That's a big decision, right? Are we keeping both Evans and Godwin? Are we paying them both number one money? Does Evans continue to help out and take less money? Like, what's really going to happen there? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Brate's not coming back unless it's on a veteran minimum deal. If the guy catches 20 passes this year, he's better off going somewhere else where his skills will be utilized and he'll get paid, a fairly decent salary somewhere else. That's $7 million right there. I mean, there's going to be some room to work with, and
What's up, Eric Moreno?
We have one of the best GMs on the planet. What's up, Coach Luke Neal in the chat? Let's talk Rojo a little bit. What do you think, Ilp? I know you earlier you were a little bit. It sounded like you were a little bit down on Rojo.
I'm not down on Rojo. I'm not as up as everybody else is. Hey, Fisher 2 times. Shout out to him. He just commented. I'll get back to it. This is my buddy.
What's up?
This is my buddy Nick. Nick. He just had a son. Congratulations. Healthy baby boy. Healthy baby boy. This is one of my lifelong friends. Him and I, the only reason I ever got introduced to you in the first place was I watched the draft at his house, and he had this podcast going the whole time before it, and he told me how much he loves watching your shit, and we were watching it. I was locked in. I was like, damn, I was fucking with it. So shouts out to Fisher 2 times.
First time I heard you was when Breeze Overrated had you on just some kind of Periscope call. Mm-hmm. You were off the chain that night.
I was hell, bro. I was so drunk.
You had me
so drunk, bro. I was hellacious.
I was impressed with your knowledge of the current Bucks and past Bucks. I could tell you were like me. You had the disease. You're a weirdo, and you just fucking love this team more than
I don't know why. It just happens.
I don't know why.
It just fucking happens. So back a few years ago, I officially gave up on the Bucks, and I started this trend of me hopping from team to team, week to week, and every year at week 11, I would just be like, Tampa Bay Bucks, fuck it, we're already eliminated. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about football. Football sucks. And up until the last 2 years, I used to try to be like, oh, maybe the Steelers are for me, and then I was like, no, you know what? Because I'd watch them for a week, and I'd be like, I can't cheer. Nothing gets me excited. I'm not gonna be like, let's go, like we were on Sunday. And every time I watched the Bucks, even in those times, every time something good happened for the Bucks, I was like, let's go. And now I'm old enough, mature enough to realize that maybe I just got to settle down with my boys here for the long haul.
The Bucks are that cheating ass bitch that hurts you all the time, bro. And then they whisper back into your ear how much they love you. When the new season is coming, they talk about how good they're going to be.
And then they end the last season. Yeah.
They ended all. Yeah, they're saying all the right things.
You're like, 2014. I thought our pass defense. I thought we were gonna have the number one pass defense going into 2015. Mm-hmm. That 6-week stretch in 2014 was the.
Oh yeah, she loses some weight. She's losing. Right. Yeah, she said it was just one time. All those things, right? That's what the Bucks are, and all of us have been hurt and just abused consistently, and we take her back every year. What does that say about us? We are the gluttons for punishment.
Cleveland Browns fans are the same way. Real Cleveland Browns
here's
fans.
The thing, there ain't shit in Cleveland, bro.
Joakim Noah says. Joakim Noah says, "Who goes to vacation in Cleveland?" I've never heard somebody say.
You're a Browns fan. That's the best you get. That's the best you're gonna get, bro. It's Cleveland, Ohio. There's nothing good about that place.
Except Sublime shouted them out in that April 29th, 1992 song once. That's about the best thing to ever happen to Cleveland.
You got Bone Thugs and Harmony, and you got the Cleveland Browns.
And LeBron James.
Yeah, but even LeBron shit on you. I know he came back, but then he left.
Won him a ring. I guess that's good. But LeBron's favorite teams aren't the Cleveland Browns, aren't the Cleveland Indians. That guy's a Yankees and a Rangers, or a Yankees and a Cowboys fan.
What do you think about seeing Brett Favre in a Bucks t-shirt? Are you old enough to know how weird that is, or no?
Yes, because he got drafted by the Falcons.
He did.
Traded by the Falcons.
He did.
Also, I want to say, was it the 1999 wild card that we beat them, or 2000? I think we beat Green Bay. And I know
I don't remember what year it was, but let's just say Favre had some of his best games as a Packer here in Tampa. We weren't very good. We were starting to get good.
That's
but
when
he would just abuse us. Put it that way.
John Lynch is the only reason, in my opinion. John Lynch was that defensive leader that we needed at that time for Sapp and Brooks and Rondé. John Lynch is what, to me, from what I've seen, is what Levante is doing to these young kids. Is he's locking them in. We're better than what we put out there, and I think our defense took a change last year when we cut VH3. That makes you know that, okay, Jamel Dean had a couple of great games at the end of the year, but you better come into next year ready as fuck to play, because Jamel Dean I think is an excellent corner. He's very fast. I love that, and he's great at breaking up passes. But like guys like that for Jamel Dean, I think it lit a fire underneath them, because now Jamel Dean goes from CB4 to playing slot corner, and now he's in the game breaking up passes, won us a game with a pick. I think that VH3 cut was the best thing to happen to this defense.
Well, I know it sent a message because I mean that VH3 was the oldest tenured back cornerback we had. It sent a message to that secondary that they're not going to put up with any fucking foolishness, right?
You see this chat?
You
see this chat? Drew Thomas says Evans gets traded at the end of the season for a first and a fourth. You heard it here first. Said you can't have two number ones.
You don't want to pay two number one receivers. I know it seems outlandish to say it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Evans is the type of guy that seems like he's going to figure out a way to stay here in Tampa. Would it shock me if we decided to stick with Godwin and let Evans walk? Yeah, I guess it would shock me, but I think
nothing shocks you. Nothing should shock you at the Bucs.
It's feasible that we could send him or trade him because we're trying to clear up some cap space and don't want to pay two number one guys. I don't see us moving on from Godwin, but you never know, man. I mean, the season's got to play itself out. And like I said, if this team,
if we win, yeah, that's the
there's no question.
Yeah, that's the main dependent on it. That's why we drafted a receiver. Tyler Johnson is never going to be Mike Evans. Tyler Johnson can be Tyler Johnson I think OJ Howard is a faster runner than Tyler Johnson.
Tyler Johnson's more Godwin than to me, he reminds me a lot of Godwin. I think that's
like a taller Stephon Diggs, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he's a great route runner. He's just not a blow the top off the defense kind of guy. He's just some more Michael Thomas than he is Mike Evans.
I mean, he's a bigger guy, bro. The guy's built different. He's built like
Michael Thomas is like 6'5". Chris Godwin's equals Chris Carter. We're not talking about CRIS Carter.
I could see that. I could see that as a comparison. You talking about Minnesota Viking great Chris Carter?
Yeah, that's what he's talking
about. All he does is catch touchdowns, Chris Carter. Let me go back to what you were saying earlier about
Michael Thomas is correct.
Yeah, fuck Michael Thomas. About when the organization changed. Like who was it? Was it Lynch? Was it Brooks? Was it
Monty Kiffin?
Was it Monty? Was it Dungy? Was it Hardy Nickerson? I think I don't think you can point to one person. I think overall the Bucs added guys who cared about losing, bro. They cared about winning.
Yeah. They cared about losing. They took that shit way harder than they did a win.
Yeah,
they celebrated wins lightly and took losses way harder.
They all had their roles, right? I mean, Brooks was like the dad in the locker room. Sapp was like, the guy you would call your ass out in front of anybody. You know what I mean? Like he was the gas. He poured on anybody. You know what I mean? He lighted everybody on fire.
I think Gruden was the ultimate game changer, though. The only reason we won that Super Bowl was John Gruden.
Culture changed before Gruden got here.
The culture changed because we were making the playoffs. We were playing the Eagles and couldn't get past them.
Yeah, but this was a good football team when Gruden inherited it. Gruden didn't inherit a terrible team that was trying to grow into something. We were already something. We already had a Hall of Fame defense. We just, Dungy was too stubborn or unwilling or incapable of bringing in the right people on offense to be able to score enough points to fucking.
Who would have thought that the right guy on offense was Brad fucking Johnson?
Johnson was the right guy.
And letting Warwick Dunn walk.
Brad Johnson was the right guy for Gruden's offense. And
Did
Dungy gets a lot of credit, because his defense, and obviously the defense played a big part in us winning the Super Bowl. But Gruden deserves equal the credit because he completely rebuilt the offense completely.
Well, Gruden says that he won with Dungy's defense. Dungy built that defense, and he has admitted that before.
We don't make it to the Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl without
Gruden.
Without that offense.
Yes. My favorite story from that season of us winning the Super Bowl, Gruden's first year there, was that he walks in and Warren Sapp's like, "Hi, what's up?" And Warren Sapp was telling the story, and he said that Tony Dungy was one of those guys that'd be like, "Hi, how are you doing? Is there anything I could do to make practice for you?" And he said that John Gruden shoved him and pushed him up against a wall on the very first day of practice. And he said, "I'm starting this fucking practice with a Brad Johnson option handoff." And he said, "And if you don't read it correctly, your ass is going to be running for the rest of practice." And he said, and he missed. And he said, and he stuck true to his word. And he was like, that's when I knew that this guy was just as serious about winning as all of us were.
Chucky's a different dude, man.
I love him. I casually support the Raiders.
I was disappointed he didn't come back. I know a lot of people didn't want him back, but I was one that would have loved to have Chucky back here in Tampa.
Who's your favorite Buck of all time?
Warren Sapp.
Who's your most underrated Buck of all time? Mine would have to be Brian Kelly from those defenses.
Most underrated Buck of all time.
I would say Brian Kelly from USC. That boy was awesome.
We've had a lot of them because we've just been irrelevant for so long. So we've had good players coming in and out of this organization that haven't got the run nationally. I mean, everybody, the obvious answer would be Lavonte David. I don't know anybody suffered more than him being as good as he is. I mean,
Spider 2-White Banana.
Yeah, I think he's having a potentially a Hall of Fame career that nobody knows about.
And that's why I can't wait for this stretch of what is it? 5 out of 7 weeks go to primetime. The whole world will know.
Yeah.
The whole world will know.
Hopefully we perform. I mean, he's going to perform. He's going to do his job. Hopefully this team does its job. And I just don't think we're there yet. I don't think this offense is there yet. I think this defense is still a work in progress. I think the defense is ahead of the offense, which you
think the defense is closer to being done than our offense is?
I think the defense is playing better than the offense. I don't think our offense is playing very well. I think
closer to done. I would say that our offense. Would probably get it together before our defense.
I think our offense is more skilled, but I think our defense right now and playing defense is a lot easier than playing offense as far as the playbook is concerned. Bowles makes it a lot more difficult because he does a lot, but playing defense is similar. Yeah, similar. No matter where you go, you're going to be playing. You're doing similar things in a similar role. Which is why it's easy to pick up defensive linemen off the street and plug them in and play versus picking up an offensive lineman off the street and plugging him in and playing.
Yeah, well, imagine this. We had Randall McDaniel starting at left tackle, and now we have Donovan Smith. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the difference is Hall of Famer versus Donovan Smith. I think, you're right. It is because we got Keyshawn for the first year Keyshawn played here. He wasn't wanted in New York or Philly, wherever he was at the time. And he came to Tampa, won a ring, then he walked. And he retired shortly after.
He got kicked out. He didn't walk.
Yeah, he got kicked out.
They kicked him off the team. They kicked him off.
What is going on with his son? Is his son any good at football?
Keyshawn's son?
Yeah, Keyshawn Jr.
I don't know. Is he? I don't follow college football like that. I know Michael Pittman Jr.'s son got drafted this year.
Yeah. Which is really weird how big his son is. His son's like Mike Evans size. And Michael Pittman, for all I remember, was a 5'11" bald guy. And they just ran the ball a lot.
But listen, bro.
One of my favorite Bucks of all time.
Listen, Michael Pittman knows 3 things, okay? Mm-hmm. He knows how to put his hands on women. He knows how to put his hands on weights.
Yeah.
And he knows how to put his hands on a Buccaneers Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, he does.
But
Hey,
no,
that's
it might.
bruh, I really wish it could have been Warwick Dunn. I
Mhm.
wish every day up and down that it could have been Warwick Dunn.
We all do. We all do. But Mike Pittman had a great game in the Super Bowl. He had a great season overall. I mean, an underrated season for sure. He was a slasher, man. I like backs like him. We've had some really good backs that don't get any credit. Thomas Jones, which I think we should have, kept a little bit longer. I thought he was
Peyton Hillis. No, I'm just kidding.
No Peyton Hillis here.
My buddy said, yeah, we did have Peyton Hillis, but I don't think he ever played for us. I
Peyton
think he
Hillis?
I think he was a training camp cut, maybe. But
Eric
Rhett,
bro. That's a great name.
That's before my time. I don't even know who that is.
Rhett, Florida Gator running back. Guy would get stronger as the game went on. He was
like a Fournette, kind of like a workhorse, like a Derrick Henry, more like a Derrick Henry.
Not nearly as big. I mean, think 6 foot, 130 pound, 125 pound back. But the guy
6 foot, 125 pounds.
Yeah, I think so. Somebody give me Rhett's.
Give me like 175, 6 feet, 125.
Yeah,
Emmett Smith type.
Yeah, Emmett Smith type. He wasn't a big guy, but he was.
Well, it's a Florida Gator. It's a Florida Gator, so probably pumped out from that era. My buddy Nick says drafting Antoine Winfield Jr. was a move we're going to appreciate for years to come. I agree with that.
We already appreciate it.
That man popped the ball loose on a pass that was sure to be completed last week, and I loved it. I love that he comes down the field on a slant route with his shoulder down. He's ready to hit something. Ready to hit something.
Ren said that Keyshawn Jr. is in the CFL.
Oh, well, I mean, he's making money. Deion Sanders' son follows me on Twitter, Deion Sanders Jr. I played him in Madden once and I beat him. Oh, sorry for this wicked bruise. I know everybody sees that. I look like a tweaker. I was in the hospital. I got an IV, and I have terrible reactions to the IVs.
Me too, bro. As white as I am,
start putting them in my hand.
As white as I am, they can't find my veins, and they always blow me out the same way. They got to bring
5'11", 211 for Eric Rhett. Eric Moreno says, "What's up, Eric Moreno, bro? How you doing, bro?"
What's up, E? Yeah, so 5'11", 211. So not.
You said 125. That's almost 100 pounds.
I said 225. I said 125.
Yeah, that's why I was like, give me at least 175. That's why I was like, come on.
Never been a 125-pound running back. There's never been a 125 pound.
Is that Trenton Holiday? What is it, Trenton Holiday? Like,
he had to be like 160, bro. And he wouldn't.
Bro, let's look up Trenton Holiday real quick. That guy, when we signed him on the Bucks, I was like, yeah, we got our kick returner for the future. Holy shit. 5'5", 169. You're right.
Like I said 160.
Scotty Miller's like 170 though.
But he bulked up. I think he's like 180 now. 185. James Wilder. Yeah.
James Wilder Sr.
James Wilder needs
greatest
to be
running back for the Bucks.
Honor. If anybody who works for the Bucks is watching this, why isn't James Wilder in the Ring of Honor?
Did you see what his son did for him for his birthday?
Yes, they got the highlight film.
Yes,
right?
James Wilder Jr. got it for him. James Wilder Jr., great name. Played him in football. He played at Plant when I played at Faith Baptist. Played him in football. Aaron Murray and him. Well, no, this is the year after Aaron Murray. James Wilder Jr. was still there. Completely, like, I'm talking about, like, we were 4-0, feeling hot. I think we lost 48-7. And that just derailed our season. Like, we played good teams, and then after that, we just didn't have that confidence anymore. Like, James Wilder Jr. is the greatest high school football player that I've ever seen with my own two eyes.
I was surprised that we didn't bring him in here on a flyer. I mean, shit, we brought Vinny Testaverde fucking Jr. in here.
Didn't we bring what was that kicker? His son went to Air Force. His son's from Tampa. Akers. No, not Jeff Akers. Is it Jeff Akers? Nah, it can't be. It was Feely. It was Feely.
David Akers. David Akers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I mean, Wilder had a couple of coffee in fucking Cincinnati, right? And then he went and played in the CFL and won some championships in the CFL.
Bro, he's playing good for Montreal. He's still playing good. He runs hard.
Interesting why,
Hey, that's my boy Daryl said, my guy Dylan. Hey, Daryl, he lives in Mississippi. I wonder, is this guy a Bucks fan? Is he a Saints fan? Because he's from here. I went to high school with him. Went to high school with
How
him.
are you feeling about Warren Sapp in Mississippi? He trashed him this week.
What did he say?
He said
I got to keep up with him. That's
He
my
said
favorite. That's one of my favorite players of all
I
time.
guess Deion's coaching a team in Mississippi,
and Jackson State.
It was rumored that Sapp was going to be on the staff, and he's like,
"Oh, I saw that. I saw that."
Like, hell no, I'm going to no Mississippi.
Yeah, that's my boy Daryl. He says he's a Patriots fan. Okay, so if he's a real Patriots fan, then he's still like Tom Brady. You still gotta love the guy. He gave you 6 rings. He gave your ass 6 rings. I'll be a fan. I swear to God, if Jameis Winston would have won us 3 rings and then bounced for an AFC team, I would have been like, holy shit, I love Jameis Winston. I would have been like,
you know what my daughter told me today? I have a 15-year-old daughter.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about football, and she doesn't follow like closely, but she knows enough to know. And she told me today, she said, "Dad, you know who my favorite player is?" And I almost cried, bro. She said Cam Newton.
I like Cam, but
what did I do to deserve?
Yeah, bro, that Panthers. Because last time I was on here, we was talking about how much I like Cam Newton. Yeah, Tom Brady is the GOAT.
For my daughter to pick Cam Newton as much as
that means that she had watched you on Sundays. Curse, fuck Cam Newton.
like all 15-year-old girls,
revolting.
They're exactly. She's definitely not going to like what I like. Everything I like is embarrassing. So
Nick says I have younger stepsisters that like Cam. Okay, Daryl, as a Patriots fan, I don't think, to be honest with you, with that current Patriots team, I saw a report on it and I actually agreed with it. I think it was Max Kellerman who said it. Weirdly enough, he said that he doesn't think Tom Brady with this current Patriot team, that game would have been a 1-score game. He says that Seattle would have won that. He says that Cam Newton is a better fit for this current Patriots roster. He's not saying he's a better player. He's just a better fit for this current Patriots roster because, I mean, Cam Newton's been throwing to fucking me and you for years. And then one speedy receiver. And then he leaves, and then they go get Robbie Anderson. Now they got Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore. Like, they got a nice little 1-2-3 there. But
I mean, listen, they have the best coaching staff on the planet.
The Patriots?
Yeah, they utilize.
You're saying the Panthers. I was like, hell no, they don't.
They utilize their players so well, man. They do, that's one of my complaints about this coaching staff is I get it. You don't use tight ends a lot in your offense. No, fuck that. Like, use what you have.
Let's send out 3 tight ends. We got Cam Brady. Let's send out when we're in the I form. Let's send out 3 tight ends. Let them all run. Cam Newton will be on IR by week 6. No. They built a whole playbook around Cam Newton in New England. Yes, Nick, they did.
He gets beat up quite a bit running that style of offense they run. Enough of those goal line 2-yard carries.
Oh, he got flipped at the end of that game. I'm gonna grab this last beer. Hold up. I'll be right back.
Go ahead, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't expect to see him finish the season if he continues to try to be the runner that he's been in the past. They look good though. You can't deny that Patriots team looked good. They've got a good defense. They had a good defense last year. Jamie
Collins is actually playing well. I think he's back in New England.
Cam's 1 hit away from retirement. Yeah, a lot of quarterbacks 1 hit away from retirement, including
Joe Theismann was the literal example of that. He was literally 1 hit away from retirement.
Our quarterback is 1 bad hit away from retirement.
So Daryl used to play football at East Bay with me and Joel. So he knows about it. He said, I'm still mad he didn't bounce it out instead of running up the middle. Yes, but Cam Newton also thinks that he's Mike Allstott sometimes. You're just bouncing off of him.
Yeah,
I mean,
you can't. Like, it's easy to say that now we know that that play failed. I mean, they ran it, and it was Seattle wasn't even close to stopping it all game long. So I get why they did it. That would have been the time to run that fake, wouldn't it? Because they sold out for that shit, and that corner made a good play, man. That's football.
He did, and I mean. Thing is on football, like Bill Belichick said, they asked him about his play call. He said it's on to week 3.
Speaking of play calling, There's something about Leftwich that it just doesn't feel right. Like the rhythm thing. This offense never feels like it's in rhythm. Our plays aren't. You don't see that symphony like you see with real good offenses, real good offensive coordinators. They just seem to just know what to call and when to call it. It's like a good boxer, bro. They hit you with that body blow.
It's Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, exactly. Like there is an art to play calling, right? Not everybody, just because you played in the NFL, just because you were a quarterback in the NFL, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be a great play caller.
Yeah, well, that's a case with Byron Leftwich.
Yeah, some guys have a knack for it. I don't know when can we call the Byron Leftwich experiment
a failure?
A failure.
Week 9 if we're below 500. Because right now we're sitting pretty at 500. We're sitting pretty. Let's say we go out and bomb it tomorrow and we're 1-2. He calls the wrong place at the wrong time. Hold up. What did Nick say? Calls the wrong place at the wrong time. He can't get in rhythm. Exactly. I mean, like, nothing pissed me off more than, I get the screen calls on 3rd and 20 because you just want to gain some yards there. But why throw a halfback screen on 3rd and 8 when they're not playing a nickel, they're playing a 3-4-4-3. Mm-hmm. They've got all their tacklers out there. There's not an extra back on the field that you can make miss. Like, I don't get the screen calls. I don't get how rare we run the ball. I don't know why we run the ball so rarely. Is the organization not sold on Rojo? Are they not sold on Leonard Fournette? Like, what happens in practice to the point where we're like, oh, Tom Brady's going to throw it?
Maybe we're not. Maybe we're just not very good at it. That's why they don't commit to it like they do. To me, again, you can run the ball. Who was it? I can't remember if it was Ledyard or Trevor Sycamore made a great point about our run game. That we bring too many hats to the party. Sometimes our run formations are so tight, right? We've got 2 tight ends and they're in blocking, and then the slot receiver comes in, and what you're doing is you're crowding the line of scrimmage.
And the thing is that they're not. It's not 2 tight. Sorry for interrupting.
Right.
It's not 2 tight ends here and here. We got 2 tight ends stacked on one side of the field.
Right.
So if we're gonna run, if we got 2 stacked on the left side of the field, if we're gonna run a counter run to the right, why wouldn't we spread them out 1-on-1, or why wouldn't we stack the right? Why
wouldn't we run out of the spread more often? Period.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. You want to bring the linebackers out. If you want to run 2 tights, you want to run out of 12. Then bring the tight ends out. Keep the linebackers away from the line of scrimmage. And then pound these big backs. In the interior, or if you want to run them outside, whatever, you have bigger guys on the outside to help block for it. So I think it was Ledyard that said that, actually, which, shout out to that guy, bro. That guy. That's a
great breakdown. It's a great analysis of just what it is. So my girlfriend, she's a Saints fan.
Yeah, I know.
She just texted me.
Follows me now.
She said, "Oh, she follows you now." Wait, was it that a conversation? Was it the one of that censored pic? Was that what did it?
I made promises of Waffle House, and she followed me. So
she's watching. She's watching right now, and she said, "Talk about the Saints." So she's coming to the wrong. She's coming to the wrong stream, and she wants us to hype them up.
Let's talk about the Saints. We talk about how the Saints lost last week to the Raiders. We talk about that.
I just don't understand how we're beating the dog shit out of Las Vegas. Tampa.
Fuck the Saints. Fisher 2 times says, "Fuck."
Yeah. Hey, no, she knows Nick. But the Saints.
Who's down to get a "fuck the Saints" tattoo with me? We can all go together. Like, because there's never going to be a time where
I told her 100% straight up. Told her 100% straight up that if the Saints win this Super Bowl with Old Man Breeze as their quarterback, that I will tattoo her name on my thigh.
Did you see that recently? That picture going around, the dude had his girl's name tattooed on his rib, and then there's another picture later where that tattoo's covered up, but then he got it tattooed again. They're the same name, on, like lower on his stomach, like they got back together. He covered it up and he tatted it on it again.
Go Gators, right, Dylan? Hell no, Eric. Come on, man. We rooting for the motherfucking Canes out here, man. As long as I can add the Falcons and Panthers. Okay, Stink, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Who's your least hated team in our division? It's all about the U, right, Nick? Right, Nick? You already know.
The least hated team in our division currently?
No, for you, what's a team that you just like? The Panthers and the Falcons, of course, were always bad.
Oh, God, I hate them all. I really do. I mean,
If you had
there were years where I hated Carolina the most, and now
Right, Nick.
obviously I hate New Orleans the most. I think I've kind of just generally hated Atlanta the whole time. So if I had to say, I'd say Atlanta's probably my least hated team.
I agree with you 100%, but I also grew up as a kid with Michael Vick, and I was like, damn, this guy's awesome.
Yeah, just because I hated Carolina so much, I could never. And plus, one of my best friends is a Panthers fan, and I won't give him.
Wait, they have fans?
They do. There's a couple of them out there. Real quick, I want to go back to what Ren said. Ren said the slot receiver comes in to trade his block, taking the DN in exchange for the cornerback. They're cutting off the backside pursuit. Just watch the Fournette TD. I get what they're doing and why they're doing it.
So they're moving up to the next level.
Yeah, on that particular play, it worked. But again, you can't argue with Ledger's opinion. Like, we often do try to run, out of such heavy formations, and we're not very good at it. And it does allow the defense to crowd the line of scrimmage. I would like to see us utilize. We've got big receivers that can block, right? Mike Evans can block. Godwin can block.
Mike Evans can block as proven in that Bengals game where he fucking put that guy in the dirt.
I mean, I understand why they do it for X's and O's, but we just do it too much, and we don't run out of spread formations ever. When I think we should utilize that, especially with bigger backs. And Rojo's a bigger back.
I was about to say it as like a spread or like a shotgun formation run is your third down running back. We can use that on 2nd and 6 and gain 4 more yards if that whatever. And then 3rd and 2 come out in the I form and throw a fucking stick route to Gronk or something like that.
Yeah. I think ironically, I think it was Papilate who pointed it out, or maybe it was Sammer, but ironically, the play that Rojo fumbled on, which wasn't a great handoff, by the way, but you still the back's responsibility to run.
Oh, they were on your ass. They were on your ass.
Yeah,
Huncho said that was Brady's fault, bro.
Listen, there was
no. He said that was Rojo's fault.
There's a lot of Brady fanboys, bro.
That man Huncho was the biggest Jameis fan last year, and now that man hates him. That's a real fan, though. I'll give him that because he's not on the team anymore. Now he don't fuck with him.
Dude, we got a whole O'Connor clan in the chat. We got Douglas O'Connor and Wes O'Connor.
What's up? That's actually my last name.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm just fucking with you. Just fucking with you.
Drew says he still hates Green Bay. Listen, so do I, which is why seeing Brett Favre in a Bucks, shit, kind of bothered me. All right,
weren't they in our division that when we first came in the league with the Lions, Lions, the Bears, and Green Bay, right?
Yeah, we were in the black and blue division, the NFC Central. It was the Bucks, Lions, Vikings, Bears. What am I missing?
Packers.
Yeah, so there were five teams in the division.
Oh, because there wasn't 32 teams yet.
Right. So we traveled quite a bit because obviously none of those teams are anywhere near Tampa. It was just odd how they did it. And
Central, there's a throw in, right?
I fully expected when they did the division changes to end up in some kind of South division with the Dolphins. I thought they were going to flip AFC and NFC teams.
I thought so. Well, I didn't think so. I just think that would make the most sense for us to be in with the Dolphins, the Falcons, the Jags, and us. I think that would make the most sense as a division.
You think they'll add additional franchises eventually, or 32 is just such a beautiful number? You just
32 is like the number for all leagues to aim for. Like the NBA, they need to add 2 more teams. The NHL has added 2 more teams.
What team moves?
Team moves?
Next.
I would love to say Jacksonville because it's so easy.
Mm-hmm.
But Shad Khan has spent billions of his own dollars improving that stadium. The stadium is beautiful. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's a very beautiful stadium now. I
still
think
Alabama doesn't have an NFL football team.
I'm not. Alabama. The fuck are you gonna put in Birmingham?
I don't know. I mean, it's a football mecca. So wouldn't it make
I'm
sense?
more surprised that the football mecca is that college. The college, that's a blue chip town. That's like putting the Colts in Indianapolis. Like the Indianapolis is not a marquee city. You would want to move out of the country before you moved there, or like Las Vegas just got their first team. You'd want to go somewhere like maybe the actual New York City. Like maybe you would want to
put another team in New York
because that'd be 4.
You can't do that.
Honestly, next team that I think moves is the LA Chargers or the Rams. I think one of them fails there.
They just built a fucking $25 jillion stadium. They're not going.
Yeah, it looks nice, but I think one of them fails there.
I think Jacksonville's the obvious answer. And
Jaguars to Mexico. I was just talking at work today about Mexico City. I was like, the Raiders should have moved to Mexico City. It's the second biggest media market in the world.
And I think there's actually Jaguars in Mexico. Am I wrong? Can somebody look that up, please?
Or now we're getting geographically. All right.
Anybody work for National Geographic?
They're Jaguars in Mexico. That was the first thing that there's currently 4,800 Jaguars in Mexico.
Look, bro, I'm a genius. Nobody gives me any credit. Somehow I knew that. And, it was still up there in my brain. So
he said Los Jaguars. Nick says Carolina can move. No, they can't. They're too invested in Bank of America Stadium.
It's weird. I've never been to that stadium. I've never been
Bank
to
of America Stadium. Remember Diddy was trying to buy the Panthers? Yeah, well, that's because the Panthers were owned by Jerry Richardson, who was a racist piece of shit.
And evidently he wasn't just racist. He was like trying to hit on his, the women that worked in the office. Like all these.
Yeah, he was like, Brett Favre did that. Sent the facts of his wiener. Jeff Garcia out of retirement.
Is there a Brett Favre nude out there that I've never seen? I knew that he faxed the picture, but
I can open incognito mode on Google Chrome real quick and let you know.
Somebody Google Brett Favre's penis and tell me if it's out there. I'm not doing it. I just want to know if it's available for viewing.
Next two NFL cities, London and Portland. Portland is more obvious than London because of the travel. I think London is a big market.
What would happen if
the Bills,
the protesters took over the stadium and you couldn't play football in Portland?
Like when the Sacramento Kings, that happened to them last year, where they were blocking the fans were like burning their tickets right in front of the stadium and shit. Portland, maybe. Toronto. The Bills to Toronto is the next team to move. Now that I think about it, the Buffalo Bills will move to Toronto, and their fan base will follow because it's like a half a mile up the road. It's literally like a half a mile.
Preseason games in Toronto already? Or they played them somewhere in Canada?
Mm-hmm. Toronto's actually a surprisingly.
When did the Rays start playing in
Montreal?
Montreal. When does that happen?
You're talking about the Tampa Bay Rays by way of Montreal?
Yeah,
it won't happen. It won't happen if we win the World Series this year. It's been deferred. It keeps getting deferred.
I hate baseball.
I think that they should all just roid up and jack some home runs because that was more fun to watch. It was more fun to watch Barry Bonds hit for 76 home runs than it is to watch somebody bat for average.
That was actually the last time I watched baseball was during the fucking McGuire, fucking Sosa Bonds days.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that there's also it's a terrible stat because I know roid rage exists and it fucks you up mentally. But I think there has been like a 300% increase in Tommy John surgeries. Since like roids have been like outlawed.
Bro, that's back in the day when they were taking actual steroids. You don't need to take You don't need to take, that type of shit. Now you can take testosterone. There's so many different things you can take that if it's managed by a health professional, isn't going to shrink your fucking dick and your balls and give you all kinds of issues. Like,
yeah, they're just going to shoot up your ass a little bit or give you a pill.
People are still doing it. They're just better at hiding it. Look at every Brazilian UFC female fighter and tell me that not all of them have been chewing on some type of testosterone since they were a little kid.
Are you thinking of Cyborg and Amanda Nunes? Are you thinking of Cyborg and Amanda Nunes?
They have bigger traps than me. They got a better jawline than me. And I'm sorry,
they're just in better shape than us, bro. That's all that it is.
Okay, all right, yeah. How you working out that jawline, bro? How the fuck you working that shit out? Ain't gonna
Oh
happen.
no, I lost it when I was like 16.
And by the
I
way,
used to have a little sharp one.
women's UFC is the best women's sport out there.
100% agree.
Not
That's
even
why.
close.
That's where. Okay, that comes back to full circle from what we were talking about earlier. Is that UFC has the potential to be the most global sport because it also. Ronda Rousey made so much fucking money off of her name, probably more money than Alex Morgan has ever made from the U.S. Women's National Team. Said no, it's not. It's the Bucks NFL.
Are you saying the Bucks are a woman's team?
Yeah, what are you talking about, Eric?
Is that what you're alluding to there? Wes O'Connor says no, it's not. All right, listen, let's name the good women's sports. Tennis. Them girls
Golf,
play.
Michelle Wee.
Yeah, but- Okay, that's the only women's golfer anybody on the planet can actually name. Women's golf period is no fun to watch. Fuck golf. It's fun to play though. Terrible to watch.
You want to go for a round?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
I'm ass at golf.
It's
I'll
the
play
best
around.
sport. It's the best sport to play because it's the only
You can drink
sport-
and smoke while you're playing
It's
it.
the only sport you get fucked up and play. Unless you want to start saying like darts is a sport, or foosball is a sport, or pool is a sport, or bowling.
Okay, darts and pools and bowling, maybe.
Those are games.
Foosball. You said that's a game?
Wait. Hold on. Stay right there. I'm gonna blow everyone in the chat room's minds and everybody who's gonna watch
This man's got a foosball championship, bro. Watch.
Hold on. Oh, holy shit. I'm gonna try not to die. First of all,
Oh my god, what the fuck is this?
let's look at the year on here. What year were you born?
97.
97?
Yeah.
I can't hear shit.
97. That was 6 years before I was born. What did you win? What
Look at
the
it
fuck
there,
did
right?
you win?
Let's see. First of all, that is a foosball trophy right
Oh my
there. Tornado
god.
table soccer. It says $15,000 East Coast Open. This is a second place trophy, guys.
Oh,
Rookie-
second place. Oh man.
Rookie doubles. So listen, if any of y'all want to get your money taken, listen, we can go to Peabody's, anywhere they have foosball tables, and I'll embarrass you in front of your mom and your girl.
Eric Moreno says predictions. You're not embarrassing me in front of my girl. You're gonna see how I lock in if she's there. If she's there,
I guarantee you're spinning them things like spin the fucking bar if you try to play foosball with me.
nah, bro. Eric Moreno says prediction, but Bucks Broncos tomorrow. I say 35-21 Bucks. That's fair.
What
That's
was
a
the
fair
score?
score.
What was the score of the Gator Mississippi State or Ole Miss game today? That's the score of the Bucks game.
51-31.
51 burgers on them. Hey, Ren doesn't know about burgers. 50 burgers, 40 burgers.
Bruh, even a 30 burger. Anything above 30?
Right.
Anything above 30 is a burger. If you put a 50 burger on somebody's head, Kyle Pitts is a cheat code. Fuck the Gators, but that man Kyle Pitts was running his ass up. Can't wait for the Bucks to draft him and then put him next to OJ Howard and then neither of them get playing time.
That's what we're gonna do. Draft another tight end to not use him. 52-10. Well,
I like that, Nick. Let's go.
We could do 52-20, which was the score of that the Gators beat the Seminoles in the national championship by. Danny Werfel.
I'm all for beating the Seminoles. I hate the Seminoles more than I hate the Gators. I definitely hate the Seminoles. My girlfriend's also a Florida State fan. Look at
she's
this.
she's a Knowles fan and a Saints fan.
Yes.
Don't have many babies with this girl, bro.
No, I got to, but they're gonna be they all gonna be Heat, Bucks, Canes. Well, I like the Marlins, and I don't really give a fuck about hockey. I want the Lightning to win just because they're in Tampa. I used to love hockey. I was a big Maple Leafs fan growing up, but now I just could give less of a fuck about hockey, bro. I watch it and like nothing happens in my head.
Where does Trevor Lawrence go next year?
What
team?
San Francisco.
Whoa. Now
San Francisco goes 3-13, and he takes over.
That would be a turn of events right there. From the Super Bowl to the first pick. Has that ever happened? Has a team ever been to the Super Bowl one
I
year?
100% can guarantee that has never happened. My girlfriend says, "Dog, I'm hurt."
Listen,
My girlfriend says, "Dog, I'm hurt."
Listen. I'm just saying, be responsible. You guys are too young for children. Okay, wait until you make better decisions in life. You have better taste in football teams. Hopefully it will bring you over to the good side. All right. Listen, there's nothing good in the state of Louisiana except for food. Everything else,
their food be going so crazy.
Yeah, everything else,
bro, what?
We do way better here. We do alligators better. Okay?
Nah.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do women and beaches and coastlines better.
No, women. My girl, beautiful. I love my girl.
You're not the only one then, because I've been to Louisiana. Listen, bro. There's a lot of dogs out there.
Oh, Stank, you hilarious, bro.
But they do got the best fucking food. They kill us in food. They murder us in food.
Do you like seafood?
Yeah, I do. I'm allergic to certain shellfish, so I gotta watch how I eat. But I can eat like.
Should be sending me pictures of the gumbo that they be making, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I still eat it. I just have Benadryl on standby because I love shrimp. It just doesn't love me. But
at least she going New Orleans Kitchen. You talking about Tibby's, Nick? That place is ass. Tibby's is fucking ass.
Listen, does your girlfriend know how to make a roux? And
my girlfriend.
Can she make gumbo? Because
yes.
Ren, can you cook Creole food? I know if he's still in the chat because I know he's a chef. We talk a lot about food on all our podcasts, and we have a lot of chefs that are Bucs fans. Have you noticed that? There's a bunch of chef dad.
Yeah. Nick, Tibby's on 60. No, don't go to Tibby's.
You used to have good ass gumbo.
Where?
Fucking Selman's, Leroy Selman's.
Selman's did have. Oh man, I miss when that was Selman's. Now it's on the one on Brandon on 60 is a fucking
Oh yeah, all the Selman's are gone.
What is that called now? It's a fucking not Glory Days. It's a Glory Days now.
I've never even been to Glory Days. Any good?
Good drinks. The food is Beef O'Brady's-esque, but the drinks are better.
This is the second week in a row that Drew is trying to tell me about smoked bologna, and I gotta tell you,
bologna is fire. Bologna is great.
I did not spark up the smoker this week, but I will try smoked bologna because I do love.
What
bologna.
Are you doing tomorrow?
You weren't in here earlier when I was telling the people that I'm going to my mother-in-law's birthday thing. She's cooking some good Puerto Rican food.
I was gonna say I could pull up on you. Maybe we can make something happen with the smoker.
I'm gonna be at her house watching the game on like a 27-inch.
Oh man, I wish you can come stop by and take my 65 because I'm going to a watch party tomorrow.
You can't disappoint a Latin mom, bro. They always have a knife in their pocket. They'll straight up smack you across the face with a chancla. You got to be careful.
Yeah, hit you with a chancla like an angry parent.
I tell people, and I'll tweet out a picture, bro. My wife sleeps with a pistol, like literally close to her fucking face. I'm not trying to get shot.
I'm not my girl. I'm into guns. Like I've got a couple. I don't got a bunch, but I'm too scared to give my girl a gun. I'm too scared. She gonna get mad at me one day, and she might up the fire on me.
Your girl should have a gun. Your girl should learn how to shoot. Everybody should be a responsible gun owner. Because
facts.
Listen, I don't care what side of the fence you're on. I just know a lot of bad people have guns. I've seen a lot of bad people with guns, and I don't want to be the one that doesn't have a gun when a bad person's got a gun. And I live in the city of Tampa.
Like, you do. You out there
all the time. I could see if I lived in the cut in the suburbs, out in the in a more secure type neighborhood. But literally anybody can walk up to my house. So
for sure. We'll take a restroom break. Be right back.
Actually, I think we're gonna wrap this. It's about 2:00 in the morning.
It is. Shit, I gotta call my girlfriend before.
You gotta call her. You gotta put her to bed, bro. You gotta put her to bed.
No, she
bed,
be putting me to bed, bro. She be staying up for like 5 hours.
get sleep, man. It's important. Drink water and get sleep.
Yes,
I love
sir.
you guys. Thanks for joining me.
Hey,
once
love you,
again.
Stank. It's always a
I
fucking
appreciate
pleasure
you coming in.
joining you,
Listen,
man.
Joel.
He ducked. He ducked
hanging.
tonight.
You left us hanging.
It's
But I
all right.
appreciate
Next
predictions.
watch party.
Yeah, we already got predictions. I said 52, whatever it is, 30 something. I think we're putting 50 on this shitty team. And I'm gonna be eating blue cheese with my wings for the rest of the season. Because
Let's go. Next watch party. We'll arrange a date for this to happen again.
No, next watch party has already been decided.
At Fuzzy's again.
Yeah, it's gonna be at Fuzzy's Tacos
Yep.
next week for the people who don't get in the stadium, which is gonna be the majority of us. Fuzzy's Tacos over by USF, the USF location. Keep an eye out on my Twitter feed, on Sammer's Twitter feed, Papi Latte, everybody will be tweeting it out.
I'll tweet the link out.
And it happens
Follow
to be
me.
be National Taco Day, which
Right
is gonna
there.
be incredible.
Follow me. Ain't no Dylan bit.
$1.50 tacos. Make sure you follow Dylan. Make
Oh.
sure you follow, and I will follow you back. If I don't follow you, at me, I will make sure I follow you. And
Good night,
all love.
everybody. Thanks
All
for
love.
coming out.
Good night. Thanks for staying up till 2 a.m.
See you, brother.
Y'all. Peace out.
See ya.